On this question, we're trying to find the dimensions of a storage shed that's going to be built in the shape of a box with a square base. So if you draw your box, it will start, most importantly, having a square base. So the base of the box has the same length and the same width. I'll call it X. I do not know the height, so I'll call it H. But I do know that the box is to have a volume of 729 cubic feet. So I know that the volume is 729. So X times H is 729. So H is 729 over X squared. So that's what I have. So I know exactly what H is, as long as I know what X is. We're told the cost of the material, concrete for the base, which is $8 per square foot. It's a little more expensive because it's the base. The roof is a little cheaper because it's the roof. It's supposed to be lighter. And the sides have this cost because they have to hold some weight too. So we're going to find the dimensions of the most economical shed by first writing the cost function. So cost, I'll call it C of X, and then I'll be cost of the base plus the cost of the roof plus the cost of sides. So we're going to add all of these costs together. So let me start with the base. The base is a square with side length X. And therefore the cost of a base will be $8 per square foot, but I do have X squared square feet, right? Because that's the area of the base, X times X, the area of a square. Plus the cost of the roof. The roof has also area X squared, because this is X, this is X. And the cost this time, though, is $3. So the cost of the roof is 3 per square foot, so times X squared. Now the cost of the sides, that will make a difference because the sides correspond to 4 pieces, 4 faces, so 4 times 4 equal sides. Right? Each of those sides has dimensions X. If I go in red, X times H. Okay? So it's 4 times X times 729 X squared, because that was the value of H that I found before. This is the cost function. Now that I have the cost function, I want to find the most economical shed by finding the minimum value of C. So let's think about that. Let's find C prime of X. Let me just rewrite C real quick first. So I have 8 plus 3, that's 11X squared. Cancel this, and multiply 4 times 729. Get my calculator for that so I don't make a mistake. So that's 2916 over X. And now I'll derive this. Before I actually derive this, I could write it as plus 2916 X to the minus first power. So this means that I could use power rule in both cases. So C prime of X, that is 22X plus, and then minus instead, right? So minus 1 comes down, 2916 times X to the minus 2. So that is the derivative. I'll find the critical numbers by finding where is C prime of X equals 0. So we have C prime of X equals 0. So I'm solving for 22X equal to 2916 X to the minus 2. So if I rewrite this, I will get 22X equal to 2916 over X squared. When will this happen? If I multiply the X over, I get that 22X cubed is 2916. So X cubed is 2916 divided 22. I wonder if this is divisible. Doesn't seem to be, but I will use my calculator to then calculate the cube root of 2916 over 22, which is approximately 'So the cube root to 916 divides 22, and that will be 5.098. So I think 5.1 is fine, approximately. This is probably the answer, but I still have to check whether this answer is really a min or a max, because I'm looking for a minimum cost. So what I do is I plug in C. So I could plug in, looking at real line at 5.1, could find out what is C prime of, say, 10, which is for sure bigger than this, and let's say C prime of 0. If you plug in C prime of 0 is not defined, so let's say of 1. If you plug in C prime of 1, you will see that this will be 22 plus, or excuse me, 11. Fix my derivative there. I was correct. So this is where I'm plugging it in. I'm 22 minus this. So this is for sure decreasing there. This is for sure negative. This is decreasing. And when I plug in 10, this is being divided by 100 because 10 squared. So I'm moving, getting a 29.16. And then a 220, so the answer is positive. The first number is bigger, so this is increasing, which means this is a minimum like I was looking for. Okay, so the dimensions of the best economical shed, they are x 5.1 and h 729 divided 5.1 squared, which is 28-ish feet. Approximately.